Hi there, my name is Kelly and I'm 53 years old and I like to share easy makeup tips for women over 50. But today I'm going to do a full face of makeup using just 4 colors. Sounds crazy, but as you get older, it's less about the number of products you have and more about the color and the placement. So I'm going to teach you all about how to do this. It's quick and easy. So if you're the kind of person that likes to use less products, you want things simple and easy, maybe you don't wear a lot of makeup, you're gonna love this. It's from a new makeup company called Restore Collective. They've been around for almost a year now and are doing fabulously. It is cream-based makeup. It wears beautifully on mature skin especially, and you're gonna love everything about it. So I'm just gonna dive right in. So there's no point in just rattling on. I can talk while I'm doing this. So I have 4 colors here. One of the colors we're actually gonna use multiple times. So we're gonna use 4 colors 5 times, and we're gonna have a full face of makeup. I have nothing on right now. The first thing I'm gonna start with is this darker color right here. Now this is called Lift Bronze, and this is my 2-in-1 product. It is part contour, part bronzer, and I think it's my favorite product. I'm going to use a brush called the Glow and Go brush. This comes in what's called the brush trio, which I highly recommend. It's got all the brushes that you need for application. So I'm going to use this flat end. I'm going to use 2 different sides. One side's going to be my dark side and the other side's going to be my light side. So dabbing into this product, the first time I'm going to use it is as a contour. So when you're applying contour, and I know for a lot of you, you're like, I don't need contour. If you're over 50, you absolutely do. And the reason is because your face is getting taken over by gravity. So it's getting pulled downwards. I'm sure you have seen this. And by just adding a little bit of a contour color that's gonna absorb light and give you that dimension that you're desperately needing as you get older, the definition, and accentuate those features that maybe are kind of falling a little bit, it's gonna make a ton of difference. So I've applied my contour where I normally would, which is below my hairline here, right below the cheekbone, and I'm literally hugging that cheekbone, and then right here below, or like on the jawline, right on the jawline there. You could also contour your nose. I don't particularly do that. I just think it's an extra step I don't necessarily need. But if you don't love the look of your nose, then apply contour around your nose, but keep it close to the bridge. So just one line on either side. The closer it is to the bridge, the slimmer the nose is going to appear. All right, so I've got my contour on. You can see, ready to go there. And the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to dab into the lighter color here. Now this is what we call bright. And this color is lighter than my normal skin tone here. So it's going to reflect light and give me that glow that I love. So I'm going to put this in just a couple of places, key places, in the inner corner here, and I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. And then on the outer corner. And the reason I'm not doing all under the eye is we have super thin skin here, and we just don't want a lot of product. We want as little product under the eye as possible. And by placing it in the inner and outer corner, we are drawing attention to key areas of the face that we want to lighten and brighten, which is the center of our face, the center of our eyes. And then, as you can see, I'm taking it all down the middle here. And again, it's gonna reflect light and give me that glow that I'm looking for. So I wanna draw attention to the center of my face. I want the glow to come from there. So that is where this lighter color is going. So you have the inner and outer corner under the eye, down the center of the face. I also brought it down just a little bit here, just like that, to really brighten that middle of the face. I'm ready for my third color. I'm gonna use that same side of the brush, the lighter side. I'm gonna dab into my skin tint. Now, this skin tint is a very silky feeling, very lightweight, very natural looking. It looks just like skin. So if you need more if you need more full coverage, you're gonna need to apply a second layer of it because it is very lightweight, which I think as we get older is definitely what we need. It's also all natural. It's a 1.3 on the EU safety scale. So it's incredibly clean and it feels like silk when you apply it. It's so lightweight and smooth. You're literally just dabbing that everywhere else. So you can kind of see why I started with my Lift bronze first, because now I sort of have a roadmap. I put my lift bronze on, I put my bright on in the inner and outer corner and down the center of my face, and then I just put my skin tint everywhere else. Your skin tint is the color that most closely matches your skin tone. So the three of these colors work together to make your foundation. So your foundation isn't just one all over color like a liquid or a powder. It is multiple colors placed in those key spots to really give you that dimension, accentuate your features, that glow, and also the coverage that you're looking for. So you got to stop thinking one color foundation from now on and think multicolor, just a few key spots. It's going to make a huge difference. And also creams are so much better for you as you get older than a liquid or a powder, because liquids and powders sit on top of the face, and that's why they cake, they crease, they settle into fine lines and wrinkles. But cream melds into the skin, it becomes one with the skin, and it just wears so beautifully for mature skin especially. So all I'm doing now is just blending everything in. So I've got a mirror here. Let me just do this as I'm going. I'm gonna probably have to go back and touch up my nose a little bit because I've got a little bit of a sun situation going on. But all I'm doing is pressing the product, and I'm not really working hard. I'm not swirling, swiping, none of those things. I'm just kind of pressing it into the skin. And then I can kind of go back and lightly blend anything that still needs blending. So I'm going from lightest to darkest, starting in the center of my face with that light color, going to my skin tint, and then I can start blending my darker colors. When you're doing this, you want to blend upwards to help gravity out a little bit. And I'm not digging hard at all. I'm barely like putting any effort behind this. If you dig too hard, you're going to blend it away, and you don't want to do that. So you don't have to work really hard. It's like super blendable, super easy to blend. So if you're working too hard, it's just gonna, again, blend the product away. So don't sweat it. Now here on the neck, I am blending downwards, but everywhere else, I'm going upward to help gravity out. All right, let me see how I did on my blending here. I gotta do under the eye, so let's get that done. So same brush that I used to apply, I'm just gonna go back and touch that up and blend that way. Let me see here. Got a mirror here that I'm using. I'm gonna use whatever's left on my brush and just apply that to my eyelid, because you got a lot of colors going on there, and just kind of evening everything out there. And again, I don't need to do a lot of digging here. I'm just pressing that product in and then doing whatever's left on my brush on my eye. Okay, now that I've got like the first sort of layer here, let me add my blush. And then I'm probably gonna put a touch of a little bit more of my brightener in the center of my face. So my blush is my fourth color. This is called Joy. Whoops. And so this is a glow capsule, by the way, but what I'm using is a smaller product called the Glow Capsule Essentials, which is just the 4 colors. So I'm tapping that kind of at the end of my eye and taking it up and back. So this is a great entree, I guess you could say, into this new makeup line called Restore Collective. It's also a great way to try cream makeup without having to switch your entire routine out. It just gives you a few options to sort of try before you kind of dive into cream, especially if you've never used it before. But it's also great for just people who want to be in and out quickly. You want just to get your makeup on and get out the door. And that's what this is perfect for. So it's got 4 colors. I hope you can see that. And the other good thing about this is it is seasonally curated. So what I mean by that, cool toned, warm toned, it can this company can help you figure out which one you are, and then get you colors that match, because honestly, that makes a big difference too, is wearing colors that work with your skin tone. So for example, I am a cool summer, and so this helps me to figure out what colors are going to look good with cool undertones. I just take this color science quiz, which I can put in the description. So check that out. I'll put all the info down below. I can just take that quiz and it'll tell me I need this medium cool palette or a warm neutral palette, things like that. It just makes it so much easier. Now look, I used a bright color called Joy. A lot of women over 50 shy away from these bright colors, but I really want you to step away from the neutrals and step into the color because our face just naturally gets duller as we get older. So you definitely need to add color. And that's the other reason that this is good, because you're using multiple colors, not just one color all over. You're really giving that added warmth, dimension, and color to the cheeks. All right, let's put a little bit more. I'm just gonna use my finger of that just because I've got some sun redness going on here. Right there in the middle. And again, I'm not pushing too hard. I'm just kind of lightly pressing. And on my under eyes, are they good? Let's see, I always like to bring brightness to the middle of my face, so I kind of go back and add that extra brightness right there just to make sure. Okay, all right. I think I'm ready to move on to the next step. Now, you are going to need a fluffy brush for this. I can recommend one. In fact, I'll put it in the comments or the description. But this is, we're going to dab back in. This is the brush I'm going to use, super fluffy, so it's not going to pick up a lot of product, which is key. So I'm going to dab back into this darker color, this Lift Bronze here. And I'm going to apply this as a bronzer this time around. So I'm going to start here on the outside because where I place my brush first is where most of the product is going to come off. So I'm just dabbing it on kind of like a C where the sun would naturally hit. So it's going to take it to the forehead and to the top of the cheekbone. My hair's getting in the way. All right, let's go to the other side. So dabbing. So yeah, most of the product went there. I don't want to get most of the product in the middle. I want it to be more diffused. So I'm starting on the outside and working my way in. And then going to the top of the cheekbone as well. Okay. All right, so you also get sun here on your nose, so don't forget that. And then I kind of sweep it to like, kind of towards the center of my face between my nose and the start of my cheek color. You also get some sun here on your chin. I'm going to switch to the other end and kind of blend everything out. Can even bring it down. And see, that kind of is going to get your makeup to pop a little bit more. So there we go. Let's do just a touch more. Okay, so there I go. I have done, I hope you could see that the whole video. And I didn't have it down too low. I need to work on my settings here a little bit, but that is how I use 4 colors for a full face of makeup. This color could also be a lip color, of course. And then if I really want my eyes to pop a little bit more, let's use that same brush, dab back into your bright color. And you can also apply this like right below the brow bone to give a little lift there. You can put some in the very inner corner. You really want that pop, right? And now I'm just kind of playing around with things now. I'm pretty much done with my makeup. All right, let me check my mirror here, see how I did. Not bad, not bad. I am probably gonna go back and add a little bit more color to the cheeks because I just feel like that is something we need as we get older. Okay. So don't be scared of color. All right, this is my Glow Capsule Essentials. 4 colors used 5 different ways to give you a full face of makeup. Super simple, super pretty, glowy, all the things, and incredibly easy to learn and use. All right, I'm gonna put all the details down below The color science quiz, you just take it, answer a few questions, and it will tell you what your curated capsule would look like. And then definitely reach out to me, because I can help you make sure that it's the right colors for you and your skin tone. And then I can help you pick the 4 colors that you're going to need for the Glow Capsule Essentials if you want to start small like this. I'll also link my blog post that I did specifically about just the Glow Capsule Essentials. It breaks everything down, tells you exactly what you need in your Glow Capsule Essentials, how to purchase, how to find your colors, all the things. So I will link that down below as well. But there you have it. I am all set, ready to go. Glow Capsule Essentials was a big help, super quick. You can be in and out in 3 minutes, quickly, super fast. Thank you so much for being here and for kind of bearing with me as I figure out my setup here and what's going to work for doing makeup quickly and easily, so that I can talk to you and also see what I'm doing at the same time. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you again next week, and be sure and subscribe for more easy makeup tips for women 50 plus. See you later. Bye.